Hello lovely stitchy friends, I'm Kat and I'm delighted to welcome you to my channel Catkin and Lily, where we talk all things cross stitch. If you've just found me and you're new here, then hello, and I hope you'll really enjoy seeing all the cross stitch updates that I have for you, and there's a lot of them today. And of course, if you're a returning viewer, then thank you so much for coming back to spend a little bit more time with me. I really do appreciate each and every one of you that comes to see what I've been getting up to for, well, usually the past 2 weeks, because I do these every 2 weeks, but it's been 3 weeks. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So today is FlossTube episode number 22, and it's the 15th of May. So we're halfway through May already. I know, time just flies when you're having fun, which I have been having quite a lot of fun, so yeah, I guess the saying's true. And we've even had some nice sunny weather here in the UK, so yeah, it's all been good. Now the reason it's been 3 weeks instead of my usual 2 is because last week I did my very first Stitch With Me video, and you guys were so lovely about it. Thank you so much for all your wonderful comments. I had a lot of fun filming it. I had fun stitching and filming it. You can tell words are going to be hard this time round. They always are. It's the thing, FlossTube, words are hard. But yes, I had a lovely time filming the Stitch With Me, and yeah, you guys really enjoyed it. So thank you so much for your fabulous feedback on that, and I'm definitely going to be doing some more of those. But today is all about the whips, the works in progress, the new starts, the finishes. Yes, there is a finish. And yeah, let's see how I got on, because the video I did before the Stitch With Me, I talked about Stitch Mania, as I was going to have 5 planned new starts, and there was a lot of other stuff going on, so it was definitely going to be Maynia. So, do you want to know how I got on? Well, I guess we better dive into it. So, because of all the Maynia stuff going on and various other things, I've got lots of stash, which I'm kind of going to sprinkle throughout. I've got a big announcement, which, as well, you might have guessed, but at some point there'll be a big announcement. So we're going to be a little bit more freeform than usual, perhaps, in this video. As I say, the stash is going to be, some of it will be throughout rather than just in one section. And yeah, there's a lot to pack in, so stick with me. I hope you've got stitching and your beverage of choice, and we'll just get into it. I am going to start with my finish though, because it's really exciting, and as always, I can't wait to show you. And I will put my info panel up for you as well. So this was House in the Woods, and this is by Riverdrift House, I think. I always forget who it's actually by. I just call it House in the Woods. And I actually started this back in June 2022. Let me check I got that right. Yeah, 3rd of June 2022. And I finished it on the 13th of May. So just a couple days ago. So it took me nearly 2 years to stitch this, which is actually quite long for me. I don't think this is going to be an unusual thing going forward though, because I'm getting more and more whips. So I think things are going to take me longer to finish. But yeah, 2 years to finish. But I'll show you where I was last time. And it did have a bit of a timeout. At the end of last year, back into last year, and then this start of this year, I had put it down. It had quite a timeout, maybe even a good 6 months or so at least. It was on timeout. I picked it back up in April because there was a whip go call for me to work on it for 5 days. So I did. I picked it up and I worked on it for 5 days. Now, it's also on my whip go board again to do another 5 days. But I couldn't wait for that because there wasn't tons left. You'll see from where I was after, well, actually that was after 7 days. I worked at 7 football matches, I think it was. And it was quite close, and I really wanted to finish it. So many new starts. I needed that finish. So here it is. There is House in the Woods. So I'll just see if I can give you a little look at this. Some really cute little motifs in here. This is one of my favourite. Little wolf, maybe dog, but little wolf. And there's a couple of cute little birds in there as well. And then mirrored on the other side. And you've got the lovely border around the top with all the letters in. So yay, finish in amongst all my new starts. At least I have one finish, and yeah, that felt amazing to finish that. There was one really weird little bit that I had with it at the last minute. I was doing that thing which you probably all do. You finish a project and you take a really close look at it. You look all over to see what have you missed, because there's almost always something. So look all over it really closely, check I've not missed anything, particularly if there's backstitch, I haven't missed any backstitch, or, you know, any little bits and pieces. And I thought it was pretty good on this one. I found one eye on a bird that I'd missed, popped that back in. And then this one I noticed. So there are two trees, as I say, it's all symmetrical. Some of the bits are different colours. So for example, the hearts are mirrored on each side, but different colours. But this tree and this tree, this one on this side was further that way. And it wasn't directly above, and it didn't match the placement. So I frogged it. Unfortunately, it was not in the dark red, because frogging that dark red, the fabric gets quite stained and it's an absolute nightmare. Fortunately, it was in light grey. So frogged that and just put it in line with the tree, because it just felt kind of wrong. So I think I'm happy with it. It's been washed and pressed, and now it's going to get rolled up and popped in my pile, my ever-growing pile, to take to the framers, which will be in, it will be when I visit my mum, because I go to the framers with her, and that will be in July, I think. So still got a chance to put a few more pieces in that pile before I go up there. And of course, since this piece had a second whip go call, that would be coming up sometime in the year to do another 5 days on it, and it doesn't need it anymore. So I will pop something else in there, to be decided, but yeah, I'm going to fill that space with something else. So here's where I'm going to go a little bit rogue from what I normally do and do my new starts first, which I very often do at the end, but we're going to dive into those because there are quite a few of them, and just because of Stitch Mania, which has been that's kind of a priority for this month, so the new starts have featured very heavily. Now I did in the end drop a couple of things that I thought I would maybe be able to keep on some of the other whips, working on some of the other whips that I had, and realistically it wasn't going to happen. I did need something else to give, and unfortunately that means I have not done any more beading on my Mermaid Rossa, so I don't know quite when I want to get back to that. I need it done to take up to the framers in July, so that's kind of my hard deadline, so I've still got a while for that. So yeah, I've decided fine, just no beading on Rossa for May. I don't think I can squeeze it in, and it does need a fair bit of attention to do that, so that's on hold. And I also had one project in the end, my Bothy Threads Spring, which I will show you because there's been some progress since you saw it 3 weeks ago, but then I haven't stitched on it in May, so that's kind of subsequently gone on hold very slightly as well, because there's a lot of projects to get through. So let's get into my first new start, because this was so exciting. This was my start on Gaia the Earth Goddess, which, as I say, I did a stitch with me, so you may already have seen a little bit of a start on her. And that was a start on, I was going to check my notes, I don't need to check my notes, I started it on my birthday, and yeah, I can just about remember. It was the 2nd of May. And that was a Thursday, so I stitched on it a tiny bit on the Thursday. I stitched Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Bank Holiday Monday. So I got loads of stitching in. And then I posted it on Instagram, and you might have seen where it was. But I said I wasn't going to stitch on it anymore. And I lied, apparently. I didn't know I was lying, but I did get to pick it up again at the weekend just gone. So we've got even more done. So here we are. This is Gaia, the Earth Goddess, and the bottom of her skirt. And so right at the very bottom, I'll see if I can show you, is all this bit down here. This is all Karen water lilies. So that's the variegated thread. And then there's some sparkle at the bottom of the dress. There's some sparkle in here, actually a lot of sparkle And then I'll come in and show you, there's a little tiny butterfly, which is so cute. And that's got lots of sparkle as well. Now, that butterfly isn't backstitched yet. I haven't done any backstitch. Obviously there's going to be quite a lot to do. I might do some as I go along. I often leave it to the end, but maybe for something like that butterfly, it might be fun just to sort of, you know, make that pop early doors. So yeah, I'm really stunned by how much I've managed to do. This feels like the most epic start ever, to be honest. And I am absolutely loving it. But yeah, I still can't say that I'm going to get any more done on this in May, but you never know. I didn't think I was going to do any more, and then I did. So yeah, although you'll see with my other planned new starts, it really, really might not get a look in, but hey ho. And I will say I'm absolutely loving the fabric on this. Absolutely. I'm so nervous with fabric choices to see, but don't you think it just pops? I know I've put the details up for you, but this is Milestone from Sparkly's, and Sparkly's fabric, it's just beautiful. This even weave is so soft and gorgeous to work on. Absolute delight. And you'll see, if you saw the stitch with me, you'll see. So I've got this on my board here, and I've got it all rolled up at the top. Just got this hanging over the top. That's how I have it. And oh, so there's loads of fabric. Sadly, not enough to have any left for something else, I don't think. There's going to be like just a strip really, but never mind. So yeah, she is beautiful. Absolutely. Oh yeah, can't wait to do more. Don't know when. So my next new start was my second one for Maynia. So on the second Friday in May, I started the Cotton and Twine subscription box. This is the April box that I had, and it's such a beautiful floral design. It's by Little Dove Designs, and yeah, she has beautiful, beautiful patterns, and I couldn't resist this box. And I did at least think, well, this is a slightly smaller design to throw in the mix, given that all my other starts for May are really quite big and potentially long-running projects. And I've made a brilliant start. I reckon that's maybe half. Maybe just about half. I'm kind of up to the halfway point here, and I've done a bit that's in here. So yeah, just beautiful, beautiful, bright colours. That just a delight to stitch. And as I say, I started that on the Friday, and then we went to my parents-in-law for the weekend. So it's the perfect one to start. I did choose it for that because I knew I could take it with me to my in-laws and get lots stitched on it. Which is why I got some of Gaia in there as well, because in the end, stitching this one, it's beautiful, but the flowers, there's lots of the same flower. So it did get a tiny bit repetitive. So I actually that's when I threw a bit of the Gaia stitching in as well, just to break it up a little bit. But yeah, loads done on that. Again, not quite sure when that will get touched. I would like to work on it some more fairly soon so that it could actually get finished. As I say, it's quite small, and it feels like a nice spring into summer project. So I don't want this one hanging around for ages. So hopefully I can get back to that fairly soon. And my third new start was actually from April. So this is a non-Maynia start because I had a WIP Go goal to have a new start in April, and I hadn't done it. It was getting towards the end of April, hadn't actually had a new start. I know, unbelievable. And then the May WIP Go calls came out, and it was 5 days on Halloween. So I thought I'd kill two birds with one stone and start the 2021 Halloween Club #1 designs. There's actually two in the in that set, and I have started on the I put a spell on you. So here we go. Actually, I don't know, I'm holding it. That should stay. My board is felt so that this sticks. Watch it fall off now. So yeah, I've made a little start on the wording. So yeah, so that's super cute. Again, at least that's a small one to throw in the mix as well. It was really in there just to kind of hit those WIP Go goals, which I'm obviously hit the April new start goal. May, the aim is to stitch on it for 5 days, and I've done 2. So I'm stitching on it there are 5 Wednesdays. So I'm having WIP Go Wednesdays and stitching it on the Wednesdays, and that will get that done. Obviously I haven't stitched a ton. That's 2 days that I've stitched on it. I was stitching other things as well, so it's not getting the full day. of stitching, but I think I'll still get some really good progress. I'd like to finish it within those 5 days, so 3 more days to work on that, and yeah, maybe I can get a finish on that too. So that is my 3 new starts. Yeah, it's getting crazy already. So now we're moving on to my whips that you will have seen previously, although one of them you have not seen for a very long time. And these are, I will put these all in the order that I started them, and we'll have all the info panels and all that stuff up on the side for you as well. And I will try and buzz through these fairly quickly because I'm aware there's quite a lot going on. Having already done 3 new starts, I've got plans to talk about as well. So let's see if we can zip through these whips, and yeah, let's go. Now, since we are going in order of when I started, yes, the first one you're going to see is the one you haven't seen for ages, and this is Birds at the Water Pump by Lanard. And this one got pulled out because it was a whip go call for May to stitch on it for 5 days. Now, I started this back in, let's see, 10th of June 2023, so we're only coming up on a year. It's not crazy old, and it's not my oldest, but I hadn't done very much. I hadn't got over that hump of getting started. Actually, most projects I don't really have a hump to get over to get started. For some reason I did with this one. Just for some reason I wasn't absolutely loving it, which is why it just fell by the wayside, and popped it on the whip go board to try and give it some love. And here we are. I've done a decent bit. I think I may have managed to find the picture of where it was previously, and I think I'd done all this pot and this blue tip. So I've basically been working this pretty little pot over here. And I'll be honest, I don't know what I think of this one. I am still not over a hump on it. I just don't know. I don't know if I like it or not. It's very different than what I would normally stitch, which is why I wanted to do it, to see what I thought of it. I thought the finished design looked really pretty, but I'm just not sure. So it's going to get its 5 days for the whip go call. And if I still don't love it at that point, I actually think I might UFO it, because it's quite a big design and I'm not putting any more time into it if I don't love it. But I need to do enough to know if I really do or don't. So I thought it was fair game, give it the 5 days and see what I think. Whip number 2 is Chromatic Dragon. So definitely not fallen out of love with this one. We are at 41,114 stitches, 19.65%. Getting so close to that 20%. So here's where we're at. That is where we are, and I'm only stitching on this 1 day a week, but it still gets some quite good progress, and I've been working to try and keep this flatter in this bit here. Let's see if I can just pull that out for you. Right, let's bring that in a little bit. Like I say, this is where I've been working, pulling all this lovely turquoise colours down here. And in fact, actually working this black section and the horn, I've actually worked up there as well. So yeah. So it may only be getting 1 day a week, but it is a day when I do just focus on this one. I pretty much don't stitch anything else on that day, so I can get some decent numbers of stitches, and it's been 3 weeks. So yeah, there's still some good progress I think to see there, and yeah, just keep going with it. Next up we have Wonders of the James Webb Space Telescope Stitch Along by Climbing Goat Designs, and this one is now part 4 has come out. And where was I last time? I think I'd done, oh, I don't know. Oh, I was yet to start on the Phantom Galaxy in part 3, I think. Well, let me show you. You'll have seen the picture. So here's where we are. So I am currently up here in this nonsense, which actually looks quite good. It looks better on camera. I don't know if this will pick it up because it's really hard. It has trouble focusing on this thing, I think, but it's confetti nonsense. I'm going to see, I don't know, this might not focus if I bring it in any closer, but that is confetti hell. I don't always mind a little bit of confetti. That is absolutely it's going to look beautiful. It is, no, it's not fun to stitch. I'm sorry, it's not fun. So that's why it's ended up being my kind of sort of thread a day, but it's not every day, and I usually do a couple threads, but that is pretty much it. Pick it up a few days a week, put a couple threads in and put it back down, and that's all I can manage. Although I have done, actually, I think this hexagon, I've stitched that because, as I say, what I'm stitching is in part 3, part 4 is out, and one of the pictures goes in that hexagon. So I've got 2 more pictures to do, and I've got a week and a half, I think, until, is it a week and a half? I think I made a note. Yeah, a week and a half until part 5. So that's fine. As expected, I'm falling behind with this, just because of that confetti nonsense, and I can really only do a few threads before I risk going cross-eyed and potentially giving myself a migraine. So it's the only way I can get through stitching this, to be honest. So that's fine. I'll just keep working it like that. Keep putting little bits in, little bits. It'll still get there, just one stitch at a time. So the next one is my 4 Seasons Spring by Derwent Water Designs and Bothy Threads. And yeah, we're just going to take a really quick look. I am going to show you because there is some progress, but at the end of April, and then I haven't touched it in May. But I'll show you what I did since you last saw it. I've worked in this area here. So yeah, that's where we're at. And honestly, there's not too much to say about that one. I'm still enjoying stitching it, but I don't think we'll see it again for the rest of May. So yeah, just thought I'd at least give you a quick update on where that one is. And next, and actually finally, do you know, maybe I didn't have quite as many whips to show you as I thought I did. It's probably the new starts that kind of threw me off. The last one I have to show you is my Coffee Gnome by Solar Stitch. And yeah, this one's made really, really good progress. Again, I'm not stitching on it loads, but, or time-wise, not loads, but I've got loads done. I don't know how. Sometimes it just kind of goes that way. Actually finished off the entirety of the gnome, and I think basically all the way up to about here on both sides. So from here down, that is all done. All done. Isn't he adorable? Oh, there's a back stitch to say coffee on here. But yeah. Yeah, really good. Just, that's all I can say really. Good progress. Loving it. Well, now we've got all those new starts and whips out the way, I want to share with you the next new starts that I've got lined up. I know I've talked about them before, but they're going to be coming up very, very soon now. So the next one will be in just a couple of days' time on Friday. And it's going to be the Deadly Aquarium. This is a sal from Lola Crow, and I've been so excited to start this. I have been seeing so many people starting it, and yeah, if you saw some of my previous videos, you'll know I did start it on some really pretty, the colour was perfect, some really pretty fabric from Coffee Craft Fabrics, but I didn't love the 28 count. So I ordered a couple more pieces from Pole Stitches in 32 count. Thought I might like it a little better. And I'm going to show you the fabrics here. Actually, the 2 of them, I ordered 2. They're actually pretty similar. And fortunately, they're both beautiful. And there's definitely one of them I will be using, which is why I can actually start this. So this is the first one. This is, let me check. So I'll say they're both 32 count even weave from Pole Stitches. This one is Mystic, which, yeah, I don't know how well is it going to play nice, but yeah, it's gorgeous. It's quite nice actually because it's got this end up here. This is a bit darker, and then there's a little bit lighter down this end here. So that's really pretty. And then, I promise this isn't the same piece of fabric. This is Whispering Wind. So this one is, yeah, I'll try and do, I wonder if I can do a side-by-side comparison, because they are really similar and they are both beautiful, and I actually think either of them would be a pretty good pick for the aquarium. Yeah, they are going to look basically the same. I can't manage to hold both of them, Yeah, they absolutely look the same on here. They're not, although they are quite similar. Basically, this one is a little bit darker, particularly at that end. This one is a tiny bit lighter. I'm going to use the lighter one. There's honestly not a lot in it. There is a little bit more in real life, but they really are genuinely pretty close. So I think either would be a good shout. So I'm going to go for the lighter one, just because there are some colours in here, and I'll show you. I've made my own very ad hoc thread cards for this because I was running out of floss drops because of all the new starts. So I've actually made my own thread cards for this, and these are the colours. I can't really show you very well with these, but this is all the colours. There's basically some sort of lots of greens and dark colours, and then a few little pops of colour in here as well. And these ones, these greens, they just don't show up quite as well on the darker fabric in real life. So I'm going with the lighter one because I think the colours will just pop that tiny bit more. So yeah, so that's that one. And actually I do have to show you as well. I'm going to evict everything else from here and show you my bag, because it's a new bag. Yay! I did say there'd be some new stash in here, and this is my mushroom bag, which is super cute. And look, you can see why I loved it as well, because it's kind of pink and it's also nice and pink on the inside here, and it's got the tiniest, cutest little mushroom on the zip. So yeah, so that is from Turtle Bay Stitches, and I realise it is not very thematically appropriate for the aquarium, but I don't have any remotely aquarium themed bags, and the mushroom one was new and I wanted to use it, and it didn't have anything in it. So at the moment, a project bag that didn't have anything in it, yeah, I just grabbed it for this one, because most of all my bags have something in them pretty much as soon as I get them at the moment. So as I say, that one will be starting, I will be starting to stitch on the aquarium sal on Friday. And I am going to be away a bit over the weekend. It's not, and I probably won't be able to take it with me. So actually I might take the cotton and twine design with me away over the weekend, but I will stitch on the aquarium on, at least on Friday and Saturday. So definitely really need to try and make a good start, because obviously the frame's been out for weeks. I've only got 1 week of stitching before the exhibits that go in the frame start dropping. And there's 6,000 stitches in that frame, so it's not a small undertaking to get started on this. 6,000 stitches, that is a lot. Now, fortunately, what they've done, and this is brilliant. Thank you, Lola Crow Cross Stitch, because they've actually said where abouts in the frame the first bit, the first exhibit is going to be. So I know it's on the right hand side of the frame near the bottom. So I can focus my frame attentions over there if I need to, and at least then I've got choice of stitching more frame or stitching the exhibit as and when that comes out. So yes, I am really, really excited to finally start that one. And then the following Friday, so the 4th Friday and the 4th new start, is going to be the Arctic Animals. Actually, no, I don't know. Do you know what? It was going to be the Arctic Animals. I'm still a tiny bit unsure because fabric. Me and fabric. I am so indecisive with fabric. I was going to say almost, I think it always works out. I don't think I've ever ended up with something I didn't like, but oh boy, does it take me a long time to actually get there and make the decision. Now, for the Arctic Animals, it's been a bit of a weird one because I didn't order anything at the time. I thought I might have something, and then I didn't. And then, funnily enough, the fabric for Gaia turned up, and it would be perfect, absolutely perfect. But there's not enough to do both projects on it. So I have ordered a piece from Pole Stitches. Again, lovely, lovely Pole Stitches. Can't go wrong. So I've ordered a piece of 32 count. So I will show you. I've got this one. This is beautiful. This is called Lightning Strike. This is really lovely. I think it probably is showing, let's see. Yeah, it's probably pretty good on camera actually, that. It's pretty good colour. Now, this is so close to being perfect. The only thing that bugs me is that it just isn't quite as perfect as the fabric that I had for Gaia. But if I try and order another piece of that, it is going to take ages. And I don't know if I want to wait. And this is probably really good. The only thing I'll show you, I've got the threads here. This is the threads, which are so lovely. And my only concern is these ones in the middle. These are quite close to the fabric colour. But I think it's going to be okay. I'm going to see if I can try and put these on here and show you. I'm probably not going to manage this. Do you know what? This would work a lot better if I actually stuck it on my board properly, wouldn't it? So let's do that. See if this works. Right. Ta-da! I mean, now the colour's not going to look so good, but it's looking a bit washed out. But I feel like maybe you can get a bit of an idea. And I'm going to try to see this. This is the colour that I'm worried that's quite close to the fabric. But I'm still not sure it's going to be too bad. And it depends how it's used. And I might just stitch a tiny bit on the corner of the fabric and see. Or I might just wing it. Or I might give it another week and see. Because as I say, I've got, not this Friday, but next Friday that I was thinking of starting it. And there may have been a Coffee Craft Fabrics Fabric Super Sunday on Sunday, and I might have bought a couple of pieces in 32 count, having not loved the 28 count quite so much because it didn't shrink like I normally expect it to shrink, and I might have ordered a blue that maybe could work for this. So I think I will wait for that to arrive and see. Probably pick between that one and this piece here because this is so gorgeous. I absolutely love this piece of fabric from Pole Stitches as well. So I don't know, I might just go with it. And it does have the advantage, I think, the light colours. There's a lot of white going to be in this design and that will show beautifully on this fabric. I'm just wondering if I can show you for reference this. So this was Gaia. So that was my other option. So it's way more grey blue. I don't know if I can do some kind of live floss toss. This is just going to go not very well probably, but let's see if I can do it. I have a feeling if I hold this up, it's all going to go everywhere, but yeah, it's not going to work very well. Mind you, I'm looking at it now and thinking, oh, I need to do this properly. I need to do this properly, not on camera. This is not the time. But actually, now I'm looking down and I'm going, no, do you know what? That Pole Stitches blue is probably better. Anyway, I'll let you know, of course, what I decide. And hopefully then I can start that one soon. Oh, and that one is also in another turtle-based stitches bag, which I'm not sure if you've seen before or not. I bought this one last year, but super cute penguins. And on the inside is lovely snowy fabric, and there's a little, oh come on, turn around. There you go. You see him. There's a little tiny penguin on there. So yeah, that one is. No, it's not. I was going to say thematically very appropriate. It isn't, because the stitch along is Arctic animals. Famously, no penguins in the Arctic. So actually the bag is completely inappropriate. Never mind. Anyway, that's my couple of turtle-based stitches bags, and I will, of course, put the description if you're interested. She has a lovely selection of bags, really cute fabrics. I will pop a link in the description for you if you want to take a look. And I will not dwell too much on the last of my planned starts, which could always get swapped with the Arctic animals if I needed to. But anyway, the last of the planned starts will be Julia the Firefly Princess. I have talked about her before. The only reason I'm going to mention it again now is just because I have got fabric for her. So, guess where? It's from Pole Stitches. Of course it is. I would say I'm single-handedly keeping them afloat, but that's definitely not true. But I am definitely been buying a lot from them. And this, I don't even know, right, look. I can't show you how big this is. Look at this ridiculous piece of fabric. Because Julia's quite a big design. And this fabric is, can you see? Yeah, it's not, yeah, I'm trying to see if it's showing up okay. It's not too bad. It is absolutely beautiful. Look at that. Pinks, blues, such beautiful mottling on there. Absolutely in love with it. It's called Dawn Chorus. So that's Dawn Chorus 32 count even weave. And she's going to look so good on that. So good. Can't wait. I do need to sew the edges. It is literally the only downside to the Pole Stitches fabric is that, edges. And that's a big piece of fabric to edge. And I don't have an overlocker. So yeah, that's a fun little job for me at some point when I'm watching something on TV, is just to sew around the edges and get that done. So that is all my future fun lined up. At least a couple of which I think will have been started next time we catch up. So yeah, there's going to be even more to see. Now, I said I would sprinkle some new stash throughout, which I have done. There's a couple of little bits outstanding, one of which I should have shown you earlier and didn't when I was talking about Gaia, because she has a new project bag. And it is this beauty. Would you look at those little foxes? Oh, they're so adorable. Absolutely adorable. And on the inside, it's got orange. It's got this lovely orange. And this is even, I don't know if you can see. Can you see? Yeah, there we go. It is glitter vinyl. That is absolutely, that's stunning. That is from JWST, and she has just started selling project bags. She's done lots and lots of sewing, done some beautiful things, just started venturing into project bags, which I think are going to do super well. If this is anything to go by, this is beautiful. It's beautifully well made. You know me, I'm a stickler for detail, and it's beautiful. And you can also buy, this is the A4 project bag. She also had this super cute little pouch as well. Little 6x6 inch pouch, which, as I say, I'm using this for Gaia. So I've got my Chromatic threads and my water lilies in here. So I love, with the designs that have got Chromatic, to have a separate little pouch. I mean, as I say, this was an add-on, so I bought both of them separately, and they're just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Love them. Please go check out JWST. She's on Instagram at JWST, and the link I've put in the description is for her coffee shop. So watch this space. There's not tons there yet, but yeah, definitely watch this space. I would be back for more bags based on this one here. So yeah, really pleased with that one. The other thing that I got was some more fabric from Pole Stitches when I was doing the orders way back, and there was a sale on, so I just went ahead and ordered a whole load more. I'm going to try and show you these fairly quickly because honestly it is a bit ridiculous. Some of it was options for Julia, in particular this one, and I've taken them out of the packet, but I've kept them with them so I know what they are. This one is called Sky High. I'll just sort of do a little bit of an unwind because these are huge. This is like, they're all huge pieces. So yeah, this is Sky High, which is beautiful. That is, yeah, that was my other option for Julia. Would have looked really good, but in the end, the pinky purple, just perfect. This one I got, this is, I think this is Cosmos. Yeah, this is Cosmos, which is gorgeous. It's got lots of different colours. I'm going to try and undo it a bit more because it's hard to see how many beautiful colours there are in this. Look, oh yeah, there you go. You can see that's stunning. So that is Cosmos. These are all 28 count even weave. Then I got this one. This one I am not 100% sure about. This is Elizabethan. And I don't think I realised quite how peachy and blue. I think I thought it was going to be more peachy, and there's actually quite a lot of blue in it. Obviously it does depend which bit you're looking at, but yeah, I don't think that one was quite what I expected. So I guess I'm slightly less sure about that, but maybe I'll find a use for it. And then this last one is Silver Sage, which I just thought a nice green colour would be good to have. Now this one's not, this is not playing nice on camera. Come on now. No, absolutely not going to play nice on camera. It actually, no. We were doing quite well It's more appley green than it's showing on here, basically. I absolutely can't get that to show. It is funny, isn't it? All the other ones, absolutely fine. That one, no, don't know. Anyway, that one is a nice greeny colour, and I am now covered in fabric. Threads, I've got them, they're all sitting on the end here. I'm just absolutely covered in bits of fabric because, as I say, none of the edges are serged on these ones, so I just get bits falling off everywhere. So anyway, more fabrics for my stash. And my final bit of stash was gifted, not bought. Thank goodness, I think I've spent enough on fabric. The final bit was some beads from my mother-in-law while we were there. She said she had loads of beads. Turns out some of them were actually Mill Hill beads. So these are, yeah, she's got proper, bit crunchy, Mill Hill beads. Some of them are quite old. This one's looking very yellowy, but you know, actually all named Mill Hill beads. And then some of them are just little packs of beads. I've got packs and packs. I honestly don't even really know what I've got, but I think a lot of them are actually Mill Hill. So these are cute. This is, so for example, these actually got numbers on them, so I'm going to see if I can match them up. They may have been from a kit and sort of put in together, so I will have to see what I can sort out with those. But yeah, that was very kind of her to let me rummage through the bead stash and pull out some bits and pieces, which I'm pretty sure I'll be able to use. So plans is pretty much, I think we've pretty much covered it. It's basically a case of all the new starts we have planned, trying to squeeze in as many other whips as possible and ticking off those whip go goals, which for May there were actually 3 whip go goals because number 13 got drawn, and number 13, when that's drawn, that's the centre square, and then there's 2 others drawn as well. My centre square was 5 days on any free choice, so I chose Gaia, so it's already done. So that one's ticked off. Also need 5 days on a Halloween and 5 days on Birds at the Water Pump, so those are in progress. So just need to get those done, but shouldn't be an issue. New starts, ongoing whips, all the things, all the cross stitch all the time in May, basically. That's the plans. As far as AOB goes, I want to say thank you for all your birthday wishes. I had a really lovely time. I had a fantastic meal out with lovely husband Dr. Tim and a couple of our neighbours. Yeah, really, really lovely. Just, yeah, very chilled, very nice. The gardening is going great. Managed to get out there, got some more new plants. I will maybe, if I ever end up with a slightly shorter episode, I might talk more about it, or maybe I'll get a couple of pictures to show you as well. But suffice to say, the gardening is doing really, really good. We have big excitement coming up for this current weekend. I did mention I was going to be away, and that's because lovely husband Dr. Tim and I will be heading up to Liverpool for the last football game of the season. So we will be going to the match and then catching up with friends, probably some partying afterwards. Yeah, I'm not really the most party person, it has to be said, but I can on occasion. So yeah, I think we'll be celebrating the end of the season. Maybe not the best result that we wanted for Liverpool, but still a pretty good one actually. Still, it's going to be pretty good. So any excuse, we'll have a few drinks and yeah, celebrate that. And finally, I am going to pause on the FlossTuber shout-outs this time because instead we have to do the big announcement that you may remember from goodness knows how long ago it was, back at the beginning of this episode, which is my 5,000 subscribers. Yeah, I'm shocked again. That's a massive milestone. That is so many of you. I actually, it's funny, I actually couldn't quite wrap my head around that number. It feels so huge, and I was trying to find some way to get a handle on that, and I was wondering what the capacity of the Royal Albert Hall was, because lovely husband Dr. Tim and I went to a concert there a while back, years ago actually, and I thought, oh, I wonder what that capacity is. Maybe I could get a reference point. Well, the capacity is 5,272. So that's almost the same. There's almost as many of you subscribers as would fill the Royal Albert Hall. So that sort of helped me get my head around it, but that's also sort of even more mind-blowing. So yeah, all I can say is thank you so much if you're a subscriber. And yeah, I'm just really, really grateful to everyone who sits and watches my videos. So of course, this is cause for a big celebration, and I thought I'd make it a little bit easier on myself and actually try and reach more than 1 or 2 people who could potentially win. So I'm going to give away some Etsy gift cards. I've seen a few FlossTubers do this, and actually it seems like a really good idea because you can just treat yourself. So I'm going to have 4 Etsy gift cards up for grabs, which will be £15 value each, or I guess whatever that works out to in your currency. Obviously this is Etsy gift cards, so anyone anywhere in the world can enter. All the usual rules apply. You need to be over 18. Please don't use the words win, giveaway, prize, all of that stuff, so that, as I always say, we keep it under the troll radar, because the trolls are real. And all you need to do if you would like to be in with a chance of winning one of those 4 gift cards is use the word royal. R-O-Y-A-L, royal, for Royal Albert Hall. For lack of any better word to pick. I mean, I had to pick something. So if you put the word royal in your comment, you can use it creatively, or you can literally just drop it in, whatever you want to do, and I will put your names in the draw for one of those gift cards, and I will be drawing it on, well, I would say make sure you comment by Monday the 27th of May. Yes, that's definitely the right date. Monday the 27th of May, so that I will then announce on the following Wednesday, on that video, I will announce the winners. Phew, that is bringing us to the end of this episode. It has felt like another long and pretty jam-packed episode. There's been, hopefully, lots that you've enjoyed seeing. I hope you've maybe had some stitchy time while you've been watching me. And if this sort of cross-stitch chat has been your jam, then of course, please do make sure to subscribe. There'll be more of this every couple of weeks. There'll be tips and tutorial videos. Pretty sure there'll be some more Stitch With Me's. So yeah, we got it all going on here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope I'll see you back here again soon. Until then, happy stitching and bye for now.